Style for Life. I'm Stephanie Rumble, fashion stylist, accountability coach, and your guide to feeling good in your body and your clothes. Based in Christchurch, New Zealand, I bring over 3 decades of experience in fashion, fitness, and wellness to help you feel strong, stylish, and self-assured. Together we'll explore the emotional, physical, and practical sides of style, because true confidence starts from within. No matter your age or size, you deserve to feel confident and show up as the best version of you. I truly believe this. This is Style for Life.
Kia ora everybody, and welcome to the podcast today. It's coming to you from Invercargill actually, where I've been working today, and I will actually be working again tomorrow. So yeah, this podcast today is about how to get into exercise if you're somebody who hates it. So how to exercise if you're unfit and hate sport. And I just have put this in because I've had a couple of people that have come into my realm in the last week or so, and they've been like, I could never do that. I could never exercise. It's just not something I want to do. So I have decided that a podcast is in order, and that's what we're going to do today. So how to exercise if you're unfit and hate sport. So first of all, I want to give a little bit of sciencey background to this, just so that you kind of know what I know, and there's some information and background. So first of all, a sedentary person is someone who engages in a lifestyle characterized by a lot of sitting and very little physical activity. And we do have a staggering number of people in our population who are actually sedentary, and it often favours individuals or refers to individuals who spend a lot of time in their waking hours in sedentary behaviours like sitting, reclining or lying down with minimal energy expenditure. And this can include activities like watching TV, using computers or sitting while commuting. Now, I started thinking about this because when I was sick last week, I lay for like 4 days. Like, I was really sedentary. I've only just started getting back into exercise, just a little bit in the weekend, just testing out how I went. And today was the first time I've run in probably over 2 weeks, which I know sounds ridiculous for some of you who are not into exercise and probably thinking this woman's crazy. But just to give you a little bit of context around, you know, what being sedentary can feel like and how it can impact you. Just a couple of things too. It's never too late to start exercising. Sometimes people say to me, look, when should I start? Oh, it's too late now. Haven't done it all my life, so why would I bother starting now? And look, my answer to you is it's never too late. And I listened to the most interesting podcast yesterday from Zoe Science and Nutrition about exercise and muscle. And just this particular researcher had done some work looking at the thigh muscle of people who exercised in their later life. So she researched masters athletes. Masters athletes are defined as somebody who's over the age of 50. Oh, that's me. And is exercising and competing at a significantly good level for their age. So they're often people who haven't been athletes in the past, but for some reason or another, they've found an activity or a sport that they really enjoy, and they have started getting better and better at it. So people aged from 50 onwards, and some of them are really quite elderly. And so she looked at their muscle, and she looked at the muscle of a 40-year-old triathlete man, which is, you know, kind of like, whoa, thigh muscle. And she said his muscle looked like lean steak with no marbling of fat in it. She then looked at a 70-year-old athlete, or someone who had been competing at masters level. So, you know, we're not talking someone like the 40-year-old, and I use the word athlete generously. And they also exercised. They also had the same thigh muscle with no marbled fat in it and no fat surrounding it. And then they looked at the thigh muscle of a 40-year-old who didn't exercise, and their thigh muscle was marbled with fat. Now, the reason that this is significant is because the more muscle you have, the higher metabolically you charge. So it means your metabolic rate is actually, base metabolic rate is higher, and muscle is more metabolically active, which just means that you have a greater engine, right? So thought that was a really interesting research. So the purpose of me giving you that long-winded explanation is to show you that it's never too late to exercise. A lot of these masters athletes hadn't been fit in their earlier life. They might have had the marbled muscle that she talked about, but they had developed lean muscle. Now, lean muscle, again, without fat in it, as I said, is more metabolically efficient. It's also better for supporting your bones and joints and everything into your later age. So it's never too late to start exercising. So if you're like, oh, I can't do it, I've got this and this going on, it's not too late. And there's so many things that it will improve in your life. Like, oh my goodness, I had one of my clients come and see me last week. She is just doing so well. My goodness, she signed up for a 6-month accountability, and it was a real stretch for her to come to me. Like, I really appreciate her. If she's listening to this, I hope she is. Like, it was a real stretch, and she was very miserable being overweight. Miserable. She was unfit. She was overweight. She was unhappy. She was on a CPAP machine, which is a machine she had to have for her sleep apnea. Her cholesterol was high. There was a whole lot of stuff, and she was only just 40. So, or just in her early 40s. So she's been with me now for just over 12 weeks, and she's lost 17 kgs. And that's really incredible, by the way, and not usual to lose that much. But she's just worked super hard, not once deviated, not broken the rules, stayed with exactly like I've suggested, made it a priority. All of those people that do that have really good results. And she has found that the exercise has made her feel so much better in so many aspects of her life. So she was almost completely sedentary when we started. And so she feels much better. She's sleeping better. Her cholesterol's really back to normal. She's lost a lot of weight. There's a whole lot of stuff that's gone with that. So, and then conversely, I've had clients who are much older, and complicated. They've come to me in their mid-50s with complicated medical histories, a lot of weight to lose, and their exercise capacity has been quite low. They've not been able to manage much because of their work, because of their physical state with injury and other things. And they've just chipped away nice and slowly and still report so many advantages. So another little thing, and some of you might not want to live a long time, and I totally get that. I actually do, and I talk about it all the time. I want to live long and well. I'm really committed to not just living long. I had a grandmother who lived till she was 97, but she lived with dementia for at least 10 to 15 years of that time. So that's not having a good health span. That's just having a long lifespan. So I want to live both long. And to do that, so some research been done on just 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. So, you could break that into 3 50-minute blocks, and that's going to be too much for many people. Too much. It's going to feel like way too hard because it's too much. It's too long. 50 minutes to start with is very difficult. But you could break into 20-minute blocks. Now, getting back to the research. So you can increase your life and health span with exercise, 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week, by 7 years. I need to say that again. You can increase your life and health span with exercise by 7 years. And that's just 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week. Now, I could talk about all sorts of other types of exercise, but I want to help those of you who are struggling to get back to health with some tips. Get back to health, get back to exercise with some tips to just get you started. And I've done the top 10 tips as usual. So the first thing I say is the best exercise you do will be the one that you will do. So I know that for some people, they think exercise is running, for example. I think, I can't do it. It's too hard. And running is hard. I ran for the first time today in nearly two and a half weeks, and it was pretty hard, right? And I'm really used to it. I just want to tell you that that's really difficult. So don't try and start running. That's probably going to be too hard for most people. So let's just walk. Just keep moving. One of my clients, she been with me for about 10 weeks. That's all she's done because that's all she can manage. She's got no capacity for anything else physically, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, because she's got too much going on and her body's not up for it. She's just walked 30 minutes. 5 times a week. It's been a really good start, and she's been consistent with her health goals. So the second one is dancing. Oh my goodness, I joined line dancing this year. I have to say it's a little bit slow for me in terms of like exercise intensity, but it's so hard for me from a brain gym perspective, which is really good for me. So I'm going to go back once I get back to Christchurch and back to a routine. So not that I'm there yet. It's been a very disrupted year routine-wise. So dancing, it might be line dancing, it might be salsa dancing, it could be Zumba. That's a really good form of exercise, anything like that. It could be a team sport. Like some people don't like team sports because they feel intimidated, feel like they're letting the team down. I had the best time playing for my sister's netball team. Oh my God, I loved it. It was so good. That was a few weeks ago, but I pulled my calf. So probably I need to be careful playing netball. I went very hard out and pulled my calf. So be careful with those sort of things if you've got a lot of enthusiasm, because it can be tricky on your body. So something like badminton, there's actually video games that have a physical element as well. Yeah, so what is it that you enjoy? Like, I'm just giving some suggestions. They're not even potentially things that people or everyone will like. Like, I had a client who got back into swimming. Like, I personally find I go to this pool about once a year. And I'm just not, it's not my gig. I'm useless. I'm not useless. I can swim, but it's really tough. It's really hard, right? And some people love it. They feel weightless. They feel supported. My daughter, Poppy, goes to aqua Zumba. My goodness, I've never done that. I've taught aqua fitness, but not been to aqua Zumba. Then I have another daughter who goes just and does body balance and yoga. That's what she enjoys. That's for her. Then I've obviously got a son who rows and a son who goes to the gym and all of that. But, you know, it might be lifting weights is your thing. Like one of my kids loves lifting weights. And I just, you know, I do some resistance training, so no, I need to, but I don't really like it much. So again, I don't do much of it because I don't like it. I like running. What do you like? Now, if you don't like much, I'm going to tell you, you need to give it some time. I had this conversation with a client last week. She said to me, I only want to walk for a certain amount of time, a little bit, because that's what gives me joy. And I said, not always does exercise feel fantastic and feel great and give you loads of joy. Like you'll feel better afterwards and you'll be glad you've done it. But sometimes the during of it is not very pleasant, right? And I don't want to put people off who are not exercising because I want to encourage you, right? But I want to say when you start a new exercise regime, give it at least a month, 3 weeks to a month, because the 3-week mark is when you get the, oh, fuck it, I'm done. I had enough. I can't be bothered. I'm going back to bed, right? Now, the other thing I would suggest is you commit to the same time each day so you start forming a habit, right? Commit to the same time each day so you start forming a habit. Now, that just means that it's in your routine. I've had this conversation with other clients too who are erratic about when they do their exercise. It might be mid-morning, it might be afternoon, it might be lunchtime. Like, commit to a time. Like, one of the things we do with accountability coaching is I get you to write an exercise plan. I do it with you to start with in the first phases of our time together. But then I get you to write an exercise plan and you tell me when you're going to do your exercise. So commit to the same time. And then another thing that works so well with this is find a buddy who you'll do this with. Now, it might be that you don't want to exercise with anyone. You just want to do it all alone. I've got one amazing client who lives in the far north and she has just got so fit. I'm so impressed. You know who you are. If you're listening, you are amazing. And she's got so fit and I don't think she's done hardly any sessions with anyone, if any of them. Everything has been on her own. She's gone to the gym and done some classes, but she's done it just for her. And that's very tough and very good work. The other thing with a lot of my other clients is they'll have a friend they'll meet on a Saturday and do this with, or they might take their kid and do, for example, park run or park walk or whatever they do. One of my lovely clients goes hiking every Sunday or just walking with her 2 children and her husband, which is so good. Like, I think that's really, really good. It's whānau time and they're actually connecting and they're getting fitter, and she tells me that it's getting much easier. You know who you are too, so well done. Number 4 is be accountable to someone. Now, I'm going to share something with you about my journey at the moment. So I obviously have lots of people accountable to me. I love helping you. I'm passionate about it. It brings me joy to see people getting more healthy. Whatever your goals are, it brings me joy. At the moment, I have had last week where I was really sick. I had COVID first on the 24th of July, and then I got sick with salmonella poisoning. I went to hospital, as you've all heard. And I went this week to my doctor and to a naturopath. And the unanimous advice I got was I need to eat no sugar for 3 weeks to allow my gut to heal. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I love sugar. Like, I don't eat bags of lollies or anything like that. That will be a once a year thing, if that. But I love things like cakes, especially slices with icing. I love chocolate. I don't drink sugary drinks really at all. The odd time I might have a tonic water if I go out, and that will be it. I'm not really into that. But you name it, that's sweet. I have a weakness for it. I like ice cream. And so when I was overseas, I had lots of gelato every day, and sometimes I had chocolate as well. And so I have to stop that for at least a month while my gut microbiome heals, because immunity comes from your gut, and mine is shot from having an ear infection first of all when I was overseas, having antibiotics for that, then getting COVID, and then getting the salmonella poisoning, and my life is going to become quite busy. So I've got to look at working from the outside in. So accountability here for me is my husband, and he's ruthless. I texted him today and said, I'm really looking at the cakes as I've been doing a course today. I've been doing a leadership course on effective communication, which has been awesome in Invercargill. Great place, by the way. I actually really am enjoying it. And, there was cakes. Oh, they looked so good. But I didn't have any. So I was just really good. Didn't have anything like that, because for me, that's what I need to do. So Dave's keeping me in check. So be accountable to somebody. Like, that's the thing I do. I help you be accountable with your exercise, if that's where your goal is. Some people come to me and they are all over their food, but the exercise is really not right for them. It's not working for them. So that's what we do. So that's accountability can be really helpful. And again, my job is to gently guide you, and if you need a little bit more firmness to do that, if that's what's required. The next one is break it up. So number 5 is break it up. 150 minutes per week is manageable, particularly if you look at it in 20-minute blocks each day. That's every day. So if you want to make it a little bit more manageable, or a little bit not every day, you can't manage that, make it 30 minutes a day, right? So there we go. So 30 minutes a day, 6 3 is 18. That gives you 180 minutes, which is actually a bit better. So 30 minutes a day. And there's lots of things you can do in that time. 30 minutes is good, but you've got to try and sustain your heart rate, right? Or it depends on your goals. Just moving for 30 minutes is so good. I sat all day today doing my course, and then I got out and I started to walk, and I was like, actually, you know what? I think I can run. Legs are a bit tight and sore, and I feel a bit fatigued, but it was a good option. So 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week, or maybe 35, 5 days a week, whatever you can manage. Yeah. So if it's 5 days a week, it's 30 minutes. That's 150 minutes. Yeah. So make it manageable. Work out what you can do and break it down so it doesn't feel like so much. Like if it's 3 50-minute sessions, that's a lot when you're starting. Number 6 is get yourself some kit you feel good in. So like, I am always wanting to feel good in what I exercise in, and I encourage my clients to exercise in something that they feel good in. It might be that is a baggy black t-shirt and a pair of leggings. Whatever it is for you, get the kit, right? Get the kit that you feel good in. It's like this. You put it on. It's like your armor. It's like you're telling yourself right now it's time to do sport. You change your clothes. It's an interesting mindset, because my mother, who's nearly 80, bless her darling soul, she doesn't exercise in anything other than her jeans. She goes for a walk round the block. She goes about 4 Ks a day. She's amazing. And she wears her jeans, but she doesn't get sweaty. So it's just that generation often is like this. But I'm suggesting if you are going to exercise, that you shift your mind set around it. You change your clothes. So you put on some exercise gear and you head off for your exercise in something you like. So if you need to, go out and buy something that you like that's exclusively for you to wear when you're exercising. That is often a really good motivator to get you out into something you like. So there's lots of brands out there. If you're just wanting to start out and not spend a lot, The Warehouse and Kmart do some exercise gear, particularly the Warehouse. Had clients buy pieces from there in New Zealand, and it's really affordable. Lots of places overseas do really good quality, really affordable sports gear. When I was traveling, I went to a couple of outlet malls. They are amazing in Spain. And I particularly remember going into Under Armour, which was it was just so hectic and hot though, so I didn't cope very well and didn't buy anything. But it was, the kit was cheap as, really cheap. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. I mean, you can if you want to. If you want to buy something more premium, a brand that's a little bit higher quality potentially than the Warehouse, or you can't get it in an outlet, and there are outlets in New Zealand too, by the way, that have really good quality stuff. Like Manawa Bay in Auckland, I think has Adidas, Nike, Asics, North Face. I think there's a couple of others, MacPack, Icebreaker, all activewear or brands that have great activewear. Get yourself a decent pair of shoes. Like particularly if you're going to start walking or doing something that has some impact, you need proper shoes and footwear. Otherwise you'll just get injured or your feet will hurt. And that's always, we don't want anything to put you off. Nothing to put you off. So get decent shoes, invest in a decent pair. If you can't afford it, just use what you've got. But give yourself something that's exclusive of your usual wear for exercise. Then it actually gives you that shift. When I was preparing for this, I actually talked to my daughter Poppy. Her and I talk pretty much most days. And we were talking about, I said to her, I'm going to do my podcast tonight. What do you think I should do it on? And she said, I think you should do it on not comparing yourself to anybody else at the gym. And I thought, actually, I'm going to do it on how to get fit. So I thought, how do I weave this in? Because comparison is really toxic when you're exercising, like so toxic. So if you're comparing yourself continually to other people and you're at the beginning of your journey, it's going to feel really difficult, right? So I suggest that you banish comparison. Now, you think about that this is for you. This is exercising for your health, your body, your life. Everyone started somewhere. And the fact that you're doing this right now is a very, very good start. So don't compare yourself to that person who's looking like this or puffing like that, or, they're doing what they're doing. I had this really amazing chap come along to my RPM classes on a Monday night, and he was really, really tall. He is a really tall guy, lovely guy. And when he first started coming along, he wasn't very fit. Now, he didn't have any shoes. He's got really big feet as well. So the cages on the bike were really uncomfortable for him. And eventually he got some cycle shoes when he got into it. And when he started, standing up on the bike to pedal was really tough for him because he didn't have the strength in his legs and all of that. And really, really big guy. I think he's probably 6'5", 6'7", right? Eventually he stuck at it. Now, he was really consistent. I was so encouraging and so happy to have him there. And what I liked about him is he just stayed with it. He stayed consistent, right? So he attended every week or most weeks. And like when I left to go overseas, and I haven't been back yet, I'll go back next week, and I can't wait to see you if you are in my Monday night RPM class. When I go back, I'll check he's there, and I'm sure he will be. But when I left, he had got so much fitter. He was pretty much able to do the whole workout. So he's able to stand up and sit down and add resistance and take it off and all of those things. And before that, he couldn't. Now, if he compared himself to other people in the class who actually have been at it for a while and are able to stand up and sit down and, perhaps are a bit fitter, then he might have given up. So banish comparison. You're doing this for you. Everyone started somewhere, and the fact you're doing it is a very good start. So yeah, definitely do that. The next one is identify your why. So are you doing this because you think you should? I mean, sometimes that's going to be the case. I fully acknowledge that sometimes exercise happens because you know you need to, right? And you know that you want to have a better life and a better health span. Interestingly, thinking about this, I was speaking to one of the attendees on my course today about his mother. We were just chatting about our parents. And he said his mother's really unwell with arthritis, and she's 73. And I thought, wow, that's quite young to be really unwell and not very mobile. I've got friends who I run with who are 74, 73, 74, and they are still running marathons. So, you know, that's the other end of the scale. But really, I was shocked to hear that at 73, she wasn't very good. And it really catches up with you in your 70s. You can get away with things in your 60s, but when you hit 70, if you haven't dug it in a little bit, then things can deteriorate. Now, if you're in your 70s, don't despair. You can still start. You can still get out walking and build it up, and you will find so many benefits. So identify your why. Like, I'm very much about longevity. I'm very much about being fit, about lifespan, health span. Those are some of my whys. I also really like the mental health benefits for me from running. I enjoy the fact that I feel good after being, not just running, after exercise. It actually creates natural up hormones for me. I feel uplifted, my serotonin's up. And for me, that's really important. I feel like that's great. I'm generating some of the chemicals that other people have to put into their bodies. Not saying that, not negating that that's what has to happen for you. Please don't think I'm being judgmental. So identify your why. Is it just simply because you want to get in shape and you're fed up with not fitting your clothes? You're fed up with feeling uncomfortable in your body? You know, exercise might be the starting key to that too. So identify your why. Why do you want to do this, right? And if you don't want to do it and you know you need to do it, that's still a why. I get it. Some days none of us want to do it. Some days I wake up and go, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through all of these workouts today? How am I going to be motivating? And I find my why. I find my why. My why is because I'm committed, because I want to be there for other people. And one of my values, my really key values, is contribution to others. So that's a little bit about why. So the other part of why is have a think about actually what is it that's got you where you are? You know, is that actually serving you? Do you want to stay there? Or has the pain of being where you are got to the point where it's going to be greater than the pain of actually making a change? Right? So that's what happens. That's when change happens, when you actually want the future to be better than the present. Next, number 9 is track your workouts so you can see what you're doing. Now, all of my clients, we track their workouts. So they use an app. They use a phone. Some of them just use really basic Apple Watch and send me a photo of their watch if they don't know how to upload it. But everyone sends me some stats. Tracking your workouts to see what you're doing is really effective. Now, I try to do this on every workout. Don't always hit it with some of my gym ones, but all my runs, I track it because I like to know how far I've gone and if I need to go further. Generally, that's why. I also like looking at my heart rate. It's a good indicator of my health as well. And it's risen since I had COVID again. So for me, that's important. Now, the last one I thought was really interesting because I researched this and drew this information from all sorts of places and also obviously from my own experience. And the last one is commit financially to your workout or to your exercise. Now, this is something that I've really learned it with accountability coaching. When people commit financially to accountability coaching, they are so much more likely to stay with it, right? Because it hurts a little bit. So maybe sign up for something that hurts a little bit, because then you're going to be way less likely to give it up. Don't be somebody who donates money to the gym and doesn't go. There's a few people like that. And we want people who actually go and actually attend the classes. But a financial commitment makes a difference, right? I made a financial commitment. I went and saw a naturopath and a doctor to kind of get my health back on track. And it cost a little bit, especially going to the naturopath. It was my first time. She was amazing, by the way. Oh my gosh. I would like to get her on the podcast and I will try, because there is so much out there about plants being medicine. And I just am so keen to explore that further. Anyway, I got off topic, but I committed to that financially. So it cost me a bit and I am so glad I did it. I feel really excited and motivated about my health improving, not getting sick again. So commit financially. So quick recap of the 10 points, just so you've got them. Number 1, find something that you really want to do, movement that you enjoy or you can tolerate to start with. Give it time, commit at least a month, because at the 3-week mark, you'll get the oh fuck it's, right? Sorry about the swearing. Yeah, and that forms a habit. Find a buddy who'll do this with you and commit to attending with your buddy. Be accountable to someone. So it could be me if you want an accountability coach, or just a friend, a relative. For me at the moment, it's my husband. Break it up. 150 minutes a week is manageable, and 20-minute blocks each day. So, or 30-minute blocks 5 times a week. Get yourself some kit so you feel good doing the exercise in something. Purchase it and have it exclusively for your exercise. Banish comparison. Comparison is toxic. This is for you. That you're doing this is a great start. Identify your why. Why are you doing this? And what do you want out of it? Track your workouts using some sort of device or app or phone or watch or whatever, and then commit financially to it. Hey, so I hope that helps, and it helps those of you who have been stuck in a winter rut and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't exercise. It's too cold. It's too dark. I'm staying in bed. I understand totally. I feel like that as well. But today I got myself motivated. I didn't go this morning because it was too cold and dark. I was feeling tired, but I committed after work and just made that's what I was doing. So team, thank you so much for listening again. If you want some help to get started with exercise, or you want a coach to get you on track with your goals, I am an accountability coach. I would love to help you. Again, thank you for listening, and I will be back next week. I'm doing a designer series, interviewing some of the designers who are in New Zealand Fashion Week. So watch this space to see and listen to some of the exciting podcasts with some guests I've got coming up. Ki kaha.
Thank you for listening to the Style for Life podcast. Don't forget, you deserve to feel fabulous at every age, every stage, and at every size. If you're loving the show, hit subscribe and leave a review. It helps more amazing people like you find their way back to life through style. Thanks again. Until next time.